them, so then Batman.
Peace.
Peace. This is A Vision Entertainment TV. You're watching it live right now. We have a pioneer, man. Back then it was a group called
Yeah.
the Fu-Schnickens,
Yes, sir.
and we have Chip Fu. We had this crew back then in the I call it the golden eras because hip hop was alive, man. You know what I mean? Hip hop was real.
Yes, sir.
So we have a special guest, man, a pioneer, Chip Fu from the Fu-Schnickens, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. No complaints on my end, bro. I'm just blessed, man. I'm blessed to be here.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm glad you came onto the show, man. And I know we talked before,
Right.
so we're just going to kind of like just pick up to where you first started in hip hop and how did all this start for you?
For me, like I said, being raised in a West Indian household in the East Flatbush, Brooklyn, man, it was just about being around a lot of music. I think the best part about it was the area I was brought up, East Flatbush, Brooklyn, between the 50s and 90s. And I think it was at my brother's 16th birthday party. I think I was 10 at that time. And the group that was actually playing was the Jamalot crew, which consisted of Educated Rapper and DJ Ice at the time. Okay. So I grabbed the mic at my brother's 16th birthday party and I kicked a rhyme for my brother for his birthday. And then Educated Rapper was like, yo, you got to watch Shorty because Shorty different. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Then hearing this gentleman say what he said about me, I was like, you know, I might as well pay attention to this. You know what I'm saying? So then from there, that was just when it began for me as far as me being introduced to hip hop.
Now, for those that don't know, tell them who was the Educated Rapper, man.
Educated Rapper was also a pioneer and legend in his own right from UTFO. You know what I'm saying? Him and Dr. Ice, DJ Ice was actually from the group UTFO. So for him to say what he said about me, and then years later, you know, as I got older and saw them, you know, get signed and everything, that, you know, that was the green light for me because that was said by somebody that I actually knew because he grew up around the corner from me. So, you know, I just, you know, took that information and just ran with it.
Oh, that's wonderful, man. And I also know that the group performed at Howard University. What year was that when y'all went to Howard University? And how did that lead into getting a record deal?
I think that was 89. I think I was fresh out of high school when we went to perform there. I think it was I think Sophia Chang saw us there. That was our A&R at the time. She saw us there, and we were basically just trying to get our feet wet in the industry. But that was one of the places that we got to perform. You know, shout out to Phil Pabone, God rest the dead. He got us that show. That was my old manager. And from there, the buzz started. And we came back to New York City and we did a host of, you know, MC battles and shows. And from there, Jive Records came to see us perform at the building. I never forgot that night. And after that, we got signed. We took off from there.
Oh, right from the show. It took off from there, right?
Yeah. Right from the show. I think we signed in late 89. Late 89, because I graduated in 88. I graduated in 88. I think it was late 89. We started recording 90, and then I think we dropped in 91. Late 90, 91. Yeah.
Okay, now was Jive a big label back then?
It was big enough. I mean, because they had RCA as distribution. You know what I'm saying? And they had a lot of strong acts at the time. They had Tribe, KRS One. They had Souls of Mischief. I just want to say it's feel good music, man. I think when it comes to Fu-Schnickens music, we did what our hearts told us to do. It was never a situation where anything was forced for us. We sat down and bounced off of each other, and we created from there. More so, we'd create choruses first, and then go verse for verse. But then we would, you know, that's how we based. That was basically how we put together things. And we didn't want one thing that we did understand was. We were creating from a space that was genuine. We weren't trying to we didn't want to create with the headspace like, yo, we're an East Coast group, so we have to sound East Coast. We were creating from that space that whenever we did records, we just did records. You get what I'm saying? It was just making records for the masses.
Okay. Okay. That's wonderful, man. And you also had a song with Fife Dog, La Schmoove.
Yes.
How did that come about, man, with you and Fife, man? Fife he's a hot rapper, by the way, and rest in peace to Fife.
Rest in peace to
How
Fife.
did that come together, man? You and our Fife Dog on La Schmoove. How did that
Well,
whole concept come together?
the connection with Fife started years prior. Fife's mom and one of Pac Fu's aunts is good friends or cousins, I think, because he used to come around the way when we were younger and come on the block. And we play football, etc. We knew each other through different other sectors around East Flatbush, and you know what I'm saying. And to get signed to the same label was pretty dope. Then to finally say to ourselves that we're going to do a record, I think what had happened was we were getting a lot of traction on our first single, which was "Ring the Alarm," because it went gold in 3 weeks. Then from there, Jive was like, "You guys got to finish the album." So they put us in the studio with Ali Shaheed Muhammad, and in 2 days we did True Fuschnick, La Schmoove, Heavenly Father, all those records.
All in one night and one
in one night, because I think we did it we recorded it the Thursday, and then the Friday we had to mix and master. So that Thursday, Fife just peeped his head in, and we was like, "Yo, we got the record." You know what I'm saying? He jumped on the record, and that's how La Schmoove, came about. And we, I think that was our second single we dropped.
Oh wow! Now, do you still? By the way, that song is dope to this day.
Thank you.
I still play it.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Do you still keep in touch with the other members?
Yes, Pac Fu is the my son's godfather, and I'm the godfather to his 2 kids. So we see each other every holiday. You know what I'm saying? We like brothers. We grew up directly across the street from each other. Mak Fu, I don't see as much, but that's still my brother too. But now and then when we jump on the phone, it's still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
Oh, that's good. That's good, man. And also, what's up, Doc? That your verse, number one, you just killed the whole industry with that verse, man.
Thank you.
When you hit the Batman, and then that thing there crazy, man.
That's good.
How did that happen with yeah, anytime. How did that happen with Shaq when Shaq on to the What's Up Doc verse? How did that happen with that, man?
Well, the first thing that happened was we had What's Up Doc recorded, and we wanted to drop it around the time when I think Warner Brothers had out the movie with Michael Jordan, Space Jams at the time.
Space Jams.
Right. So Warner Brothers told us not to put out the record because they didn't want it to conflict with what they were doing with Michael Jordan. So what we did is Jive Records said to hold on to the record because it was a big record. We had to change the chorus up. So we said, can we rock What's Up Doc for ourselves? And we took out the Bugs Bunny sample. So we always had the record in the can when we were in between albums. So then we heard, from our management team at the time, which was Flavor Unit Entertainment, that was Shock Him and Queen Latifah's management company. They told us that we were the favorite rap group of Shaquille O'Neal, and I think I was his favorite MC, and I was like, all right, cool. So I didn't understand what that meant until they flew us down and said that, he wanted to meet us. We met up, went to his house. The guy was an incredible DJ from that time when we met up with him. He was mixing and scratching then and blending records and doing all this weird stuff and mixing with his back and all this stuff, like a show DJ. So he was like, yo, he got rhymes. I was like, all right, cool. So I said, well, here's what we're going to do. Why don't you come and drop a verse on What's Up Doc? Because it was already finished. You know what I'm saying? So all we had to do was just, elongate the beat at the end. So he walked in the studio and he had this piece of paper and the paper was so messed up, bro. I was just like, I was like, well, a piece of paper let me know that he was at it though, meaning that he was continuously writing or rewriting that verse. You get me? So when he stepped in the booth and he started rhyming, I just started laughing because you, first and foremost, to see a person of his height rhyme like that.
Giant.
Yes, with that much energy, and we didn't help him write his verse. That was all him. So all
he did his own thing.
Yeah, all we had to do was tell him, pause right there, stop right there. All right, we're gonna come in and do some doubles on this part or whatever. But as far as like saying it and getting his voice right or whatever, those are the tiny things that we helped him with. But as far as writing, that was all him.
Wow. Okay, Shaq.
Yeah.
and who did the track to that beat?
Myself and what you call it? From Main Source, one of the DJs.
Large Pro.
No, one of the DJs. Remember, he had two DJs.
Okay.
Kevin, K Cut. Sorry, K Cut is his name. He and I actually produced that record. I remember going to see him in the apartments in Queens, and I told him how I wanted the beat. You know what I'm saying? And what a lot of people don't understand about the beat is, if you listen to it, True Fuschnick is in that beat, right? I took out the bottom of True Fuschnick, so you heard and then from there, that whistle you heard. I went into the booth and I started whistling, and then I panned.
That's you whistling.
That's me whistling actually in the booth, and then I panned it, quarter, and up the middle. Then what I'm saying? After I panned it, then Kev played the drums up and down. He played the bass line up and down or whatever, and that's how we had it.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Dope.
That's dope, man. Yeah, that, like I said, that whole album, man, both albums, Nervous Breakdown and FU Don't Take It Personal, those albums can go in the books, man.
Yeah, I'm proud of those two albums. You know what I'm saying? Proud of those albums.
Your phone breaking up.
No. I said I'm proud. You can hear me now?
A little. It sounded like it's breaking up a little, but and then it froze.
All right, so it's not frozen now. You can see me now. We good? Nah. I said that it was pretty cool to have those two albums in the crates and understand that it was well appreciated by what I'm saying, hip hop listeners, man. I appreciate that.
Dope, man, dope. And also, Arsenio Hall was a big thing too, man. When it seemed like the whole hip hop industry was on there rapping, the whole industry, man. How was that? How did you get that phone call, man? Like to come on down and freestyle on? Was it a freestyle you did on Arsenio Hall, like the group, when it was like I think his last show and everybody came out? Was that a freestyle y'all did? That was written verse.
No, that was we were already in second album mode, so I just kicked my verse from the song Breakdown, actually.
Okay.
But everybody, it was an incredible day, to have all the groups in one spot that was actually making noise in the 90s at the time, for us to just pay homage to this man that has done so much for hip hop, on a grand scale, So it was an incredible night. I mean, I remember when they brought us all in and they took us to a studio. No one was talking to each other. We all was just sitting in one room.
Yeah.
And then Pete Rock loaded that beat. Once he loaded that beat up, it's like it woke the room up, and everybody just started writing and running over to each other, and it's just like, yo, you go first, I go second, or whatever, and then we just put the whole thing together. A lot of people don't understand that KRS-One was not in the lineup.
Oh, he wasn't?
He was not in the lineup. So he showed up the day of that we were filming, and when he walked out, it was the first time I saw him.
Oh wow.
So to me, that was incredible to walk out on the spot and freestyle his entire verse, and then Mad Lion came in, and I was just like, yo, that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That was beautiful to see. That was some hip hop harmony joint right there.
Yeah. How was that, seeing all your favorite rappers, man, in one room like that? Like, did you have a favorite back then? Somebody that you like to listen to back then?
It was dope seeing Wu-Tang.
Okay.
I'm a Wu-Tang fan. It was dope seeing Meth and everybody. It was big Pete Rock fan, Guru fan, Tribe always. You know what I'm saying? Just to be amongst them and to know that the media and that hip hop thought that we were amongst the greats too. MC Light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, just seeing that, and I was just like, wow, we're if there was never a time where a person could say that they made it, I think that was the night when I stood there and I was just, I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did it for East Flatbush because they could have picked anybody, anybody at that time in the industry. You get me?
Yeah.
But to just pick us, I was just like, this goes down in history. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those great nights.
So was that everybody that was on Arsenio Hall that made the phone call to come on there and do the show? Like
I think Yo-Yo and I think Yo-Yo and Flavor Unit was the ones that put it together.
Because, okay.
I think Flavor Unit got the call and started getting in touch with everybody. And if you really think about it, it could have been like a ton more. You understand what I'm saying? It could have been a lot more people, but
that's right.
I think within the short notice, because I think the show was supposed to have its last air date of that Monday, and I think they got the call a Friday. I think we flew out the Sunday.
Oh wow!
We flew out the Sunday, got there, and when we got there, we were at the studio from 11 a.m. to about 4, just trying to put everything together. But because new people kept coming in.
Okay.
Every time a person came in, we had to try to find out where they was going to fit that person. You know what I mean?
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was like a historic moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ring the Alarm
Mm-hmm.
was the debut single, correct?
Yes.
Did you think that it was going to make it? What I mean by that is make the radio plays and all, because it sounds something like a Jamaican type of song
record. It was the thing about Ring the Alarm, which was so dope. It was a straight dancehall record.
Okay, exactly.
It started getting radio play because that's the time when fusions of hip hop and dancehall started happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to have a group, you gotta think about it, a group that dropped a single that was a straight dancehall record, then follow it with a hip hop record. At the time, you had radio and record companies going, well, I think we're doing something wrong because this group is staying on tour because they're on tour with Shabba Ranks and Supercat. Then they could come back and tour with Organized Confusion and Black Sheep and Naughty by Nature.
Yeah,
they're just bouncing in between. So they're the perfect blend of basically what they considered secular music at that time.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah, see that was the one right there. Whose idea was that to put Ring the Alarm out as a debut single? Like, was it like a toss up? Like, no, let's put this out. No, let's put that out.
Nah, it was. You got to remember, we didn't have the other records yet. We didn't have True Fu-Schnick and all those things yet. Once we dropped Ring the Alarm, and we got all the attention, and then it went gold in Canada. That's when Jive was like, "You guys got to come back and hurry up." So we like, all right. So Ali was like, "Yo, I'll give you 3 days."
That's what he said.
Yeah, I'll give you, because he was working on the Tribe stuff at the same time.
Wow.
So that was, he's running from studio to studio, mixing and doing whatever for Tribe. Because remember, Tribe came out too. They dropped their second album.
Yeah.
So just to get that attention, I was like, yo, that was dope. But just knowing that we were able to crack the door open and with a dancehall record, you know what I'm saying, and then follow it up with a hip hop record, and it was pretty dope.
That was amazing because now you have two crowds, two different crowds.
Yep.
And you can rock each show.
Each show was a crazy show because you saw, this is when a lot of people that were super into dancehall was coming to hip hop shows now.
Wow, that's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Because they was like, yo, that's my group. I'm going to go see the Fu-Schnickens because they do that dancehall stuff. And the weirdest thing is, when we did the dancehall, you seen the total opposite reaction from the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh, the crowd wasn't moving like this when we had on all the hip hop stuff. They was just nodding, but the crowd basically was reacting different when the dancehall stuff came on. So I think that album was a well balanced album. You know what I mean?
And I'm thinking about the dance hall with Ring the Alarm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also thinking about What's Up Doc with Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Fife. So
Yes.
yo, it's like three generations, man. Like you had the sports world,
Yeah.
and then you had the dance hall, then
Yes.
you had hip hop alone.
Yep.
So y'all was killing it back then, man.
Yeah. We was we weren't a walk in the park when it was time to
That's
do
right.
shows. We were not. Everybody knew, yo, them Fu-Schnickens brothers, they gonna come with it, because I remember in the very beginning when it came to shows, leaders of the new school would kick our ass every
Oh
night.
yeah.
Leaders of the
Wow.
new school and what was the UMCs.
Yeah. Okay.
The UMCs, they were some great stage performers, man, and we learned from them. I ain't gonna lie about it. We learned from every night getting on stage with those two groups. So we found our own niche of how to perform, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we could,
Yeah.
be who we were. And yeah, from then on, it was no looking back, man.
Wow. So you said leaders of the new school and UMCs was like
Hmm.
it's not a walk in the park. Like it was kind of hard with them on stage, right?
Yes, very hard with them on stage. Them brothers, they knew how to give a show. Those are the only two groups who would send us back home to practice. Leaders of the
What?
new school and UMCs to practice, meaning stage show, not song, lyrics, flow or nothing like that. Just stage
Just
show.
performance,
Yes.
right?
So from there, after getting our ass handed to us by these two
Yeah.
groups, we stepped it up as like how we were supposed to, and then we became that group that it was hard to reckon with.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Mhm.
Now you know how back in the day they had beef with different crews or different rappers, different
Mhm.
groups. Did Fu-Schnickens ever have any beef with someone back then in the golden years?
If we did, we didn't know.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If we did, we didn't know. I remember one time we went to perform in Jersey, and that was like straight poor righteous teachers area. And I think we got on stage and we were performing, and I think poor righteous teachers was on the bill, and something. I think somebody in the crowd said something. I said something, and then
It was on.
yeah, it was on. But we didn't fight. What had happened was, Boy Wise and myself, we went. Both of our crews knew each other.
Okay.
So Boy Wise and myself, we went in the back and we sat down and we spoke, and then we were cool after that. But because it was something that I think was sparked from the audience, and it had nothing to do with us, as groups. You get me? So those are
Okay.
that was the only thing that ever I could ever say like happened. Nothing ever, no group ever said nothing. Plus, Flavor Unit wasn't having that, bro. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? My Flavor Unit crew was, Tretch and Freddie Fox and everybody. They was like, yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're not hearing none of that stuff. So when we moved as a team. You get me? So, and we weren't looking for any problems. We were just happy to be able to get into the game and to represent for the culture, and also to represent for Brooklyn, man, and to sell units and make our parents proud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
coming to New York from West Indian lineage. They're proud to call back to Trinidad and Barbados and be like, Roderick's gonna be on TV on our city. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that's what we were living for, just to make sure that our families was good. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's dope. That's dope. How do you feel about the music today, man?
There's some that I like, and there's some that I'm not. That's not to my liking. And reason being, I'm a creative person. I'm a super creative person. I'm a super creative writer. So when I see that there's people out there that don't pay attention to their pen game and just let their pen game just sway and just say the dumbest stuff, it's
Yeah.
upsetting to me because they say for you to become the greatest at what you do, you got to put in 10,000 hours, right? I believe in my lifetime, I put in over 10,000 hours. That's why
That's
I'm the
right.
beast
Yeah.
that I am. So
Yeah.
if somebody else is on the microphone doing what they're doing, and I could hear that you didn't put in the time, I think that's what upsets me. Then you
Right.
have certain MCs that you hear they put in that time. Some of these new age MCs, you hear that they put in that time. Like there's this MC named Corday. when I listen to his music, I'm like, yo, he's putting in the time with the pen. You know, him, J. Cole, Kendrick. You got the you know, there's a group of them out there, but then you have some others that you be like, this just happened on a whim. You know what I mean? That's about it. But I'm not gonna knock. I don't knock what's happening because some of it I really do like. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I listen to the creativity, but then there's a bunch that overshower the ones that are trying to be creative.
Yeah.
Are getting more play than anything else, and those records I don't like.
Well, can you name a few rappers who you listen to today? Just a few.
Now, I like Corday. He's one that I listen to. There's an MC called Jid. I think that he's part of J. Cole's crew too. He's pretty wicked. Okay. There's I listen to a lot of UK stuff. Like, you'd be surprised. I listen to a lot of UK MCs because they remind me of myself. So they're more challenging for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to diction, you know what I'm saying, and words that I would choose and pick. I listen to let's see. I mean, Eminem still, you know, listen to M. I listen to I still listen to my greats like you know, I still listen to my KRS One. He just dropped something new.
Yeah, Chris.
I still keep up with my elder statesmen, you know, who got me interested into hip hop just to see how they're aging along with what they're saying. You get me? So
yeah.
Those are the guys I still look up to. You know what I'm saying? And but other than that, I try to push myself. I don't want it to be a situation where I can't stand the test of time because I see my peers. Some of my peers are not doing it, and then there's some of my peers that just that you just got to smile when you see them because they stand in the test of time. You know what I'm saying? Busted for them. So big up to them. Yeah.
Wow. If you was called, you in the group was called to do a verses, right? Mm-hmm. Who do you think will be a good matchup for the Fu-Schnickens?
Yeah, I've had that question asked, and I don't know. There were some people that said, you know, Lords of the Underground.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Wow,
right.
Okay.
Lords of the Underground. Some people were saying Leaders of the New School.
Yeah,
people were saying Lords of the Underground, Leaders of the New School. And then who else? Lords of the Underground, Leaders of the New School. And then they were talking about, since we had that, you know, they were talking about a balance because we have a lot of huge records. You know, a lot of people be sleeping. You get me? You got to find that group that's midway that people will be like, oh, I could see why they chose that group. Like, you'd see Fu-Schnickens, and they also said
how about Souls of Mischief?
Too many. There's too many in that group.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Yeah. They also said what's that cool like that? That group.
Oh, you're talking about Diggable Planet.
Diggable, because they're looking at three people, you know, Leaders of the New. So they didn't want to do they weren't throwing in any duos in there. They were trying to, you know, the 3-man group, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they would throw in like a brand Nubian because even though the music is totally different, but it was three MCs.
That's three and three.
Yeah. But those are the names that we were getting. We didn't get any other names.
So will you do a versus if you get the phone call?
It all depends, because one thing I'm not gonna do, I ain't gonna do nothing corny for money. That's just it. Okay. I was never that person. Like, it has to make sense. You know what I mean? And it has to make sense in the end. Bottom line, money has to be right. You know, my peoples have to be with it. We have to be in sync, because if we're not in sync and we go out there, because remember, the difference with verses is you got the world watching.
That's right.
Right? So you go out there, they see you not in sync. And that's the thing where, like, for instance, when Jadakiss went up there and slapped everybody up with, you know, lyrically, when he did what he did.
Yeah.
Now, that's a part of history now.
Yeah.
You're never going to forget, you know, the Locks versus Dipset. You're never going to forget that because of what happened, right?
That's right.
I don't want a situation like that.
Okay.
So for me, if me and my partners aren't in sync, we're not gonna do it. I want that when we get up there, we represent our brand perfect and we represent our hip hop perfect. You know what I'm saying? We got to go out there and kill it. Kill
Understandable.
it. I'm not doing that. You
That's
know?
understandable. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's next for you, man? What are you coming out with any new music?
Music is music. Brand new album called Royal Blood. Right now
Royal Blood.
we're mixing and mastering. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's just been giving me beats, man. Shout out to these producers. Shout out to Pete Rock. Shout out to Strobe. Shout out to Blizz and everybody that's on deck that's giving me. Shout out to UG. All these Crisis. Can't forget Crisis. Shout out to everybody that's been giving me giving these these beats or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just the mixing and mastering stages right now. Um, and all the stuff that I'm dropping is stuff that people has never saw before. Instead of me sitting on it, I was just like, let me just get rid of it and just put it out and just let people just have it before the album comes out. So, a lot of people hit me up like, yo, is this on the album? I'm like, nah, bro, this is not even on that. This didn't even make it. You guys could have it and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on. That also, my school initiative called Math, which is an acronym for Music Appreciation, Art, Time, and Healing, where we bring back music to the schools,
Okay.
to make sure that we're able to, build that therapeutic environment for these kids nowadays because of what's going on with this COVID thing and a lot of lives being lost.
Yeah.
You got to imagine how these kids are feeling going into school, not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. So we want to make sure that whenever they come in our class, we have a nice therapeutic outlet for them, play music, let them, recite poetry or write what's on their heart. Because, mental health is big in these times. And when you say mental health does not have an age. It's not a situation where you talk about mental health and you're like, oh, mental health, that, you got to be in your 30s and above. No, this is with these kids too, because these kids are waking up in a time that they normally would have saw stuff like this happening on TV.
Yeah.
And now they're actually living it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm waking up, there's a new variant. The teacher that was teaching me yesterday, he passed away last night from this thing that he caught we don't know if it's airborne or not. So these kids, right now, I figured that would be the best thing, for me to give back is to bring my initiatives in, to several schools and just bring back that love for these kids, man. You know what I'm saying? We were different growing up. We didn't have to deal with that. We had other things that we had to deal with, but we didn't have to walk around with a mask and
none of that, man.
people telling us, yo, your homeboy that you play basketball with, he passed away from. Nah, we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to bring back a little balance to the schools, bro. That's all.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. And what is your how do you feel about the vaccine, man? Like being vaccinated and all that stuff.
I'll say one thing. I remember sitting with my doctor. My doctor said to me, you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid that if you catch COVID, that you'll pass away. And I said, why? She says, because, you don't have a lot of underlying issues, but if it really gets into your lungs, Rod, you may pass away. And I was like, why? Because I was born with respiratory problems, right?
Okay.
So for me, I'm like, if there's something out there that's going to protect me, even if it's just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at it this way. We go into the woods, right? We get bit up by all these bugs.
Yeah.
We grab this can. We don't know what's in this can. And we spray it all over.
That's right.
Mentally, what that does is it tells us that we are now protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't even really know if it works. We don't know. We don't really know if it works. But mentally now we're so in a comfortable space that even if we got bit, we would think, no, that wasn't a bite. That couldn't have bit me because I'm protected.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like if you could walk around and do stuff like that, you know what I mean? And it makes sense if somebody says, there's something out there that can protect you. Now, there's pros and cons to the situation where, a lot of people that have underlying issues need to take it because it protects them. and then to find out that it does not help in certain situations, then you got conspiracy theorists who would sit down and say, well, are we actually just taking a placebo, right?
That's right. That's
Are we
right.
taking a placebo to be like, yeah, I'm strong, and then you go out there and then you build up your own immunity against whatever, and then I think there's pros and cons when it comes to taking the vaccine. Like, for those that don't want to take the vaccine, I'm not forcing anybody to take the vaccine because I've been vaccinated. And for those that are vaccinated, I understand why, because you want to be able to be around your family. You don't know how this thing is traveling. You have kids that are in and out of school. If you're not vaccinated and they're coming home, they could be bringing it home to you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, me being a parent and being a husband, I rather make sure that my family is fine. Everything else out there that's happening, God bless everybody, but I want mine to be protected. I want to make sure that we're around for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny how a lot of people are vaccinated, but a bunch of those people are in the hospital right now sick.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
Although,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm saying, although they tell you that you're not going to die, you're just going to have the sickness, but still,
Mm-hmm.
like on the cruise ship,
Mm-hmm.
all those people was vaccinated, and
Mm-hmm.
half of them died. Like at least 9 of them died.
Let me ask you a question. Every year they tell us to take the flu shot.
Yeah,
Every year.
that's right.
The flu shot wasn't a shot that you got once. The flu shot is something that you get every year. Why?
Every year.
Because the flu, it changes, right? Pneumonia actually is somewhat like a flu, right? You catch the regular, they try to give it the small names. When we were younger, you had the small common cold, which was the sneeze and the whatever, your runny nose.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew when it was about to become the flu because you start to get the fever, right?
That's right.
Then you'd be like, yo, we got to get something to break the fever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, you had the fever, the cough, and you couldn't, in the stuffy nose. So then when you start looking in the stores, you started reading things for stuffy nose, because it's been mutating. It's the same thing. So
and the body aches and stuff too.
right, there you go. Especially the body aches. So you'd be like, yo, I am aching, bro, and I got this fever. So now, if we knew that this was happening for years, we never questioned that. We never questioned what was in that flu shot at all, right? And you go into your local drugstore to get the flu shot.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
right? You go into your hey Harold, how you doing? You get me? He's giving you a flu shot.
That's right.
Right? Not a doctor, but you had enough trust in Harold, who was making you a sandwich, giving you a pack of annihilators in the same store, and telling you to sit down, and he's rubbing a whatchamacallit, alcohol prep on your arm and giving you a shot. How you not? That's what bugs me out. It's like, yo, every year you're walking into a store, you don't know that person behind the counter.
Yeah, that's amazing. We wasn't scared then.
No, at all. But you were taking that flu. I got my flu shot. Bro, where you got your flu shot from? Walgreens.
Yeah.
We looking at bro, you got now I got my flu shot from my doctor, bro. So if we're able to look at that like that, and then you have this new thing that people are like, listen, you need to take this shot because it could possibly help. Not all the time we take our flu shot, it helps, right? No, because you'd be like, yo, I had a flu shot earlier and I got the flu in 2 weeks after that. Why? Because you didn't catch the flu, right? Because they're actually giving you the flu to catch, to build up the antibodies in your body to fight it. So you didn't catch it. When they gave it to you, your body didn't react to it. It was like, 2 weeks later, a stronger version of the flu, you get that. Now your body's reacting and you're like, well, didn't I get a shot for this? Oh, sometimes we need to sit back and just look at certain things, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that what's happening is right. I'm not siding with anybody. I'm just siding saying, you know something? I remember when I went to school, they gave me a shot. They gave me a shot in school and was saying, well, listen, all the kids that come to school on this day at PS 244, well, we're going to give them a shot. My parents didn't, argue. I mean, they asked a whole heap of questions. Then when I went to college for about a month and I walked in there, I never forgot. they gave another shot. So we have this card that says rubella, you know what I'm saying, with all these things listed, and it states that we got shots for these. We didn't argue. We did not argue. We walked around with this card. And it's the same, but you gotta look at it this way. I don't mean to be so long-winded.
No, that's cool.
The same thing that we were going through when we were younger is happening now, but we're questioning it. We're questioning it now because of what's going on. Because remember, we could not. I repeat, we could not get into regular schools unless we had those shots.
Without them shots,
right?
You got it. Yeah.
And we had to walk with that card to show we need to make sure that your shots are up to par and everything and whatever, and your health. You bring that card in. So that first day of school, you got you walked in there with your parents with that yellow card, a blue card. That's all the shots that you took, or they be like, nah, he didn't take that measles or mumps shots.
It's called immunizations.
There you go. So it's the same thing where they're saying, all right, guys, you took all the other shots.
Yeah.
This shot right here, this is killing people. So since it's killing people, here what? I need to see that card if you're gonna come inside my school.
That's right.
It's the same thing. So here's my card. Okay, so go ahead. So I know that there's a chance you may not have it because you took the shot. Same thing with the kids. Remember, you being a parent and me being a parent, when I took my son to school, I was like, yo, listen, please let me know if there's a kid in the class that has a cold, because if that kid has a cold for that 1 or 2 days, I'm not bringing my son there because I don't want my son to get sick. And please let me know if that kid has all his shots and everything else. I don't play that. I wasn't playing that with my son in school.
That's right.
It's the same thing. The same thing, but on an adult level now, where we're standing up there going, okay, so we're sitting in this restaurant, and everybody in this restaurant, all they did was show the card that they got vaccinated for that.
Yeah, vaccinated. Fully vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated. That's all.
Wow. See, that's deep, man. Mm-hmm. That's deep, and it's well said, well spoken too, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, we're gonna come to a close, but I wanted to ask you a question, man. Do you still know the verse to "What's Up, Doc"? I mean, I'm quite sure you do. It's been a while, but do you still know that verse without, just flowing right through it?
I would have to listen to it like once or twice.
Okay.
And then actually, because there's a certain rhythm to it. There's a certain rhythm and count. So if I listen to it once or twice, I could get it. But to just actually say it, because I know each record has a certain rhythm and count to it. One to be 1 to 4, one to be 1 off 1. So I'd have to hear it first, because then I remember how I wrote it and what pocket to be in, or I'll be out of pocket just to say it like, all right. But I would have to hear it once or twice and be like, oh, that's the rhythm right there. Let's go. I got it. I could say it fluent without any pausing or
any pausing. Yeah,
no pausing, no nothing.
I know you start off like, I thought I saw a putty cat. I did. I know that. My thing was this. I wanted to get you to say that verse before we close. But
I would have to.
I know, and I don't want you to mess it up. You said you might. Yeah, but one day I'll get you though.
Nah, all you gotta do is before we go back on, just be like, yo, Chip, I'm gonna get you to kick whatever, and I might be like, something. Let me prepare. Let me listen to it twice. Like if you told me that was gonna happen earlier before we came on, I'd have listened to it twice.
Okay.
And then came on here and you know what I'm saying? We'd have been good.
So is that what all the old songs you had? You really can't come out and sing them like that?
It's a certain rhythm.
Okay, it's a rhythm. Okay.
It's a certain rhythm. It's a certain rhythm. Not saying that I can't do it. I could do all of them, but I would rather do it's a certain rhythm, and I don't want to be out of sync with that rhythm. As soon as you're out of sync with that rhythm, you can tell because it throws off the whole thing. You get me? Throws off the whole thing. It's not like how some people be rhyming and doing the double time style, and it's just repetitive one word.
Yeah.
I'm saying sentences. So these sentences have to fall in a certain slot.
Okay.
Before the 1 and on the 4, in order for everything else to flow perfect. So yeah.
Wow, it seems like it's so difficult to write a rhyme like something hot.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said it's like levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to fall off
because
it's gonna mess everything up.
Yeah, just like I put out the Figaro thing that I did on my page when everybody was putting out the Eminem stuff and and the twister stuff. I said, all right, what if I did a rhyme in the opera form called Macbeth, and I did it in the Figaro pattern? So I went and I did it, and I put it out. Niggas was like, yo, that's crazy. Same thing. Give me a minute, go and create. I'll put it up, and everybody was like, yo, that's never been done in hip hop. I'm like, nah, it's not gonna be. I'm not playing when it comes to that stuff. You get me? Yeah.
Well, I know the new album is gonna be fire. I already know that. The lyrics is gonna be tight.
Yes, sir.
Are there any special guests that's going to be featured on your album?
I don't want to let that out the bag, but it's not going to be a lot of features. There's not a lot of features. I think I kept it to a minimum where there's certain people you wanted to hear me with. You get me? And then there's the fact that I don't want to do what's been done for the last 10 years where you get an album from an artist and they have 12 songs on there and 8 songs is with people.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want people to know that I can hold my own, and as a writer and as a lyricist, you know what I'm saying? So when people hear it, they be like, yo, he went in for himself. That's just all him. And the 2 or 3 collabs that he did, those are dope too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it's gonna be banging, man. For those that would like to follow you, can you give them your emails and your social media handles, man?
Social media handles on Instagram is @ChipFu, on Facebook is @ChipFu, or you could go to my personal page, which is Roderick Roachford. That's my government. On Twitter is @ChipFu. On TikTok is official ChipFu. I haven't really learned how to work that TikTok stuff, bro.
Yeah, me either. I'm on it too. I don't know.
Yeah, I just throw up some stuff now and then to keep it 100. But yeah, those are all my handles, man. Reach out or whatever, and just stay abreast of what's happening, man. Again, I want to thank you for having me to come on here. I know we've been trying to do this for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm glad we finally got it done. So, it is what it is, man. Keep doing what you're doing, brother, and uplifting the culture, man. We're proud of you.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming on to the show. This is ChipFu, everybody. I'm sorry, ChipFu from the legendary group, the Fu-Schnickens.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on, man. And I holler at you, man.
All right, we talk soon, brother.
Peace, brother.
All right, peace.
In the sun, brother try to rally up, then daily galley for some room.